Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare गौर प्रेमानंदे श्रील प्रभुपाद की नाम संकीर्तन की हरे कृष्ण
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivada Dadi Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivada Dadi Yashodanandana Vraja Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana
Yamuna Tirat Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivada Dadi Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Kunja Bihari Radha Kunja Shri Radha
Jaya Radha, Kunj Bihari Shri Radhe.
Gauranita Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhu, for your wonderful welcoming Kirtan. Thank you, Jagajiva Gandhi, for Radha Madhava singing. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome you all for this Sunday feast program of ISKCON of Round Rock, Texas. I thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to speak something about Jagannath Ratha Yatra and also Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra today. I seek your blessings so that whatever little I have learned or I realized I can share with you. First of all, before I start, I pay my grateful, humble obeisances to all those volunteers who have worked tirelessly for the event that happened at Lakewoods, right? Lakewood Park yesterday, where we had a wonderful Jagannath Rath Yatra celebration. So many of you have worked tirelessly to ensure that the program went through well by the grace of Lord Jagannath. I thank each one of you who are involved in the service, including those who have come there to participate, to partake the festivities there. So today's topic is obviously on Lord Jagannath, since we have recently done Jagannath Rath Yatra. Yesterday we have done Jagannath Rath Yatra here, but on 16 July, the actual Rath Yatra happened in India, Orissa, Jagannath Puri. So, Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatume. May that Sri Jagannath Deva be my object of vision. Here we selected few languages to display this mantra or display the invocation, because Jagannath is the Lord of the universe. It could be many, many languages, but whatever we could fit in one slide, we try to do it. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatme. This is one of the very important prayer. This prayer has to be continuous for us as long as we remember Lord Jagannath, because we need to pray to him that let me, my vision, to be his object of surrender, object of love, object of devotion. So, yesterday we had about 300 to 400, I think, or I don't know what is the statistics there, yesterday's count of devotees who came. But back in India on 16th of July, when Rath Yatra happened, there were about 900,000 devotees attended Rath Yatra. I was just trying to see from a statistical point of view for you to understand, it's almost 1/3 of the population of Texas was there in Rath Yatra in terms of count. So you can imagine how big is a festival. For a festival, a day-long festival, 900,000 people attend. That itself shows the volume and enormity of this fantastic event. So Srila Prabhupada also said, on the shore of the great ocean with a large palace atop of the brilliant golden Nilachal hill. I think the slides are moving, right? Somebody is moving the slides? Or? Lord Jagannath resides with his powerful brother Balabhadra and his sister Subhadra, who sits between them. May that Jagannatha Swami, who bestows the opportunity for devotional service upon all glorified soul, be the object of my vision. This is what Srila Prabhupada has told. And Srila Prabhupada was very, whenever, whenever any devotional activity happens, and particularly whenever somebody is involved in the worship of Jagannath. In the early days, at least, he used to be extremely happy. So I'm very sure, yesterday also, if Srila Prabhupada were to see that festivity that you people have put up, he would be very happy. Back in 1974, in the very early days of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to Yamuna Devi. It's moving, right? Yeah. I think you can move one more slide. Yeah. I want to thank you 100 times for the excellent way you are worshipping the deity there. Can you imagine that you get a letter from your spiritual master saying that I thank you 100 times. As I can see from the color photographs that you have sent. From my childhood, obviously she would have sent something regarding the Rath Yatra, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. From my childhood, I was also worshipping Lord Jagannatha. When I was 6 years old, my father gave me a Ratha and I was performing the Rath Yatra in my neighborhood. Now, in the Western world, you are worshipping Lord Jagannatha, so how do you pronounce this? Gorgeously or gorgeously? And it pleases me very much. Thank you again for the way you are conducting the deity worship in Philadelphia temple. So we can understand that Srila Prabhupada is very keen to see that Lord Jagannath is worshipped throughout the world and particularly in ISKCON, because he is the one who has brought Jagannath Rath Yatra into the Western world that we all know. So, and Jagannath Rath Yatra has been a massive outreach programs of ISKCON. Some of the great leaders of ISKCON joined ISKCON because of Jagannath Rath Yatra. One great leader, one very tall leader of ISKCON now, he's the senior-most monk in ISKCON, senior-most monk in Gaudiya Vaishnava, longest-standing sannyasi in the history of Gaudiya Vaishnava. His own Jayapataka Swami Maharaj also got into the real mode of service when he was attending the San Francisco Rath Yatra, when he was asked to assist Jayananda Prabhu. So Jayananda Prabhu said that he first gave Jayapataka Maharaj a wonderful service of putting the nail in the wheel of the chariot. So that's how Jayapataka Maharaj started his life in ISKCON, and he grew so much. So Jagannath Rath Yatra is a very big, good outreach program for ISKCON for many years, and in fact now decades, of 6 decades old. And in many parts of the world also this is like that. Many people come, they get attracted, And this is one big outreach program. And the next thing that follows is the Damodara Aarti program during Kartik month. These are the very big outreach events. And so this is the pranam mantra, because whenever we invoke the blessings of Jagannatha, normally it's a customary practice to do 2 mantras about Jagannath. So I will do it, we can repeat it meditatively, remembering the Lord Jagannatha, because he resides in a place called Orissa, and in within Orissa, a district called Puri, and in that place is called Neelachala, Blue Hill. Neela means blue, Chala, hill. Neelachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrayam Jagannathaya Te Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Jagannatha, who eternally resides at Neelachal and is a super soul, together with Lord Balabhadra and Subhadra Devi. Hare Krishna. Next is another pranam mantra. Jagadananda Kandaya. Can you chant this? We'll all repeat. Yeah. Jagadananda Kandaya Pranatatri Haraya Cha I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Jagannatha, the source of bliss of the entire universe, and the remover of the distress of those who surrender unto him, and the eternal resident of Neelachala. Neelachala Nivasaya Jagannathaya Te Namaha. So these 2 are the pranam mantras which are normally recited before we start the discussion. So this is the ISKCON's Rath Yatra in San Francisco in 1967. Very, very famous, iconic picture of Srila Prabhupada. You know, you can see him in total bliss, total happiness, total satisfaction that something eventually was achieved, and also something that was very surprisingly achieved at a very short time. We should all remember that Srila Prabhupada landed in America in 1965. So 2 years later, this kind of a grand festival happened in San Francisco. That's a turning point, and that was a very, 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 very historic moment. Why? Because it's the first time ever Jagannath Rath Yatra was celebrated outside India. And from then on, every year in ISKCON, and other than ISKCON also, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of Jagannath Yatras are celebrated in the world. Thousands. ISKCON itself has got 10,000 centers, so each center celebrates multiple times. Here you celebrate one thing. I live in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, where we cannot do Rath Yatra outdoors, so a lot of Rath Yatras are done indoors. So at least as far as I know, that I've been told that there is a Jagannath Rath Yatra. Can you guess how many Rath Yatras in a small place called United Arab Emirates, which is very, 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 very small portion of your Texas state? Probably 1/10 or 1/30th or 1/50th of your Texas. Can you guess how many? 75 around Rath Yatras happen. 4 or 5 very big Rath Yatras where, yesterday you had 300 to 400, right? When our congregation Rath Yatra happens, minimum of 3,000 to 4,000 people attend. Minimum. Yeah? And then we have multiple Rath Yatras in homes, Bhakti-Vriksha groups. So, and within the country, within one small country, can you imagine the mercy of Srila Prabhupada? You can imagine throughout the world how many Rath Yatras are celebrating. And how many people have got the opportunity to see, to know, to understand about Lord Jagannath? That's why some of these moments of life, some of the moments in the history of any organization are extremely, extremely important. I mean, to give a very crude material example is like when Bill Gates in early 70s, he was a programmer, and suddenly one day he thought that in everybody's house there should be a personal computer. Everybody should have a personal computer, right? Which is an unknown thing, unbelievable thing. That's why the first device that came became a personal computer, and we still use the word personal computer. It is such a revolutionary thing, right? So many things happened because of that one visionary statement that he thought would do. Same thing here, like Prabhupada. This is much more devotional, and it brought so many people. So it's very important. And next is that we also should make our humble obeisances to the first deity, Jagannath deities that were carved by Shyam Sundar Prabhu under the guidance of Srila Prabhupada. I think these devotees, last I saw them were in University of Berkeley, a temple near University of Berkeley. I think it's San Francisco Temple. Yeah, it's a very, very iconic, and it's a very long story, a wonderful pastime on how these deities got carved. It is wonderful, like how much tolerant Srila Prabhupada was there and how much encouraging he was there to get Jagannath to the western side of the world. And then it's an overflooding of Jagannath. So when we think about Jagannath, there are a few things that are extremely important for us to understand from a philosophical point of view, on information point of view. First is Lord Jagannath comes out of his temple because his mercy cannot remain confined into the temple. Even though he himself wants to be in the temple, but he cannot be in the temple. His mercy will pull him out. That mercy cannot be contained. So this is one very important thing about Lord Jagannath. Whereas other lordships, either self-manifested, the deities which are worshipped by great devotees called Bhagavata Sevat devotee worship, and the deities which are done the prana pratishtha, the life that is given in the deities for the worshipping, just like I'm not sure about this temple whether it was prana pratishtha was done, but all the deities are there in the temple, but Jagannath is only probably very unique where the main deities themselves come out. And Rath Yatra is the Lord's journey towards everyone, because Jagannath is coming out for us. He is coming out, he is coming forward, but that forwardness should be understood that we need to go back to him. He is coming to us so that we can go back to him. Unless we have this thinking, the fulfillment of Rath Yatra is not complete. He is coming out to reach us out. It is big outreach that he is doing it, and it's our opportunity to think of how do we go back towards him. The very, very definition of religion is to relegate. That means go back. Go back means going back to Godhead. So this is facilitated by Jagannatha, Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra to a very, very great extent. Yeah. So glories of Purushottama Kshetra, the place where Lord is there, is residing originally, are given in Skanda Purana, where Lord Narayana says to Goddess Lakshmi that those who behold that deity in Purushottam Kshetra, manifested by Lord himself, easily attain my eternal abode. And those, of course, behold the deities which are also getting manifested outside are also definitely are eligible, to at least to make some progress in their devotional life. Pratitamam tatratam drishtva swayam devena nirmitam ananya sena vai yanti bhavanam me tato naraha. This is what Narayana is telling. So in Skanda Purana, there are several verses, 81,000 verses. So in that Skanda Purana, there is one section called on Purushottama Mahatmya, glory of the Supreme Lord in a kanda called Vishnu Kanda. And in Vishnu Kanda, this whole thing of Jagannath thing is very detailedly described. First, Lord Sri Narayana tells to Brahma, and Brahma narrates to Shiva. Shiva narrates to Skanda, who has written this Skanda, who is the compiler of this Skanda Purana. And subsequently, Skanda narrated to Jaimini, and Jaimini narrated to the several devotees in a convention in Mandarachala mountain. So it's coming in the succession, disciplic succession, just like the way Srimad Bhagavatam also evolved from Vyasa to Shukadeva, Shukadeva to Sutta Goswami and others, Sutta Goswami to Naimisharanya Rishi, Shaunakadi Rishis, and then so on. Like same way, this is also there. And there comes a description in the Skanda Purana that one sages ask Jaimini. So it's very interesting word is there. For which purpose does Sri Hari freak as human and take the shape of Daru Kalevara, wooden form of Neelachala? So the word freak is very interesting that we normally don't use in our devotional conversation, but it is so unusual, so kind of an improbable thing that how this kind of a deity can come about from a wood. Daru means wood, wooden form in Neelachal Dham. So this is what they ask, and Jaimini Rishi basically tells, I will give you the most mysterious and secret philosophy, O sages, listen carefully. So I hope you'll also listen carefully. I'm not Jaimini Rishi, but I beg your blessings to do that same. Okay, and it's Jagannath, worship of Jagannath is also is full of, contained with full of mysterious things. The way the full thing is, the rituals, the processes of worship are very, very interesting. And so he says that just like Lord Krishna told Arjuna that because he is devotee, he is going to narrate Bhagavad Gita to him. So same way, Jaimini Rishi says that I will give you that. So today, as far as the Jagannatha Katha is concerned, predominantly it can be covered in two ways. One is how Jagannath as a deity came and a temple was built and how the worship started. Okay? But second portion is how the Lord has appeared in this form. These two are two separate things. So how Jagannath's deity as a worship came about, who built the temple, how the temple was built, how the first deities were found, that's a big story. But how did Lord get this form, that freaky, mysterious form, is another story. So today my topic of discussion is on the second part, how Lord got that form. So many of you or all of you would have heard, can I get this book? So it's very interesting. Jagannath is one kind of a Lord, one form of the Lord who is very, very personal. That's why among all the deity forms, you find maximum number of stories from devotees with Jagannath pastimes. Everybody has got some very peculiar thing. So while I was coming to US, I know that this is going to be a long flight. And normally when we come to US, there are a lot of demands from Roop Sagar Das and Mahasundari Madhavi Mataji. We hardly have any place for our luggage. So everything was packed, absolutely no space. But I was thinking, but generally when I take on the long flights, I mentally have a mind map on what I should do for the 16 to 17 hours flight, because I try my best not to use the fantastic entertainment arrangement that Emirates gives us. So I said I should do something. So in the last minute, almost at the 11th hour, they call it in English, right? I said, if it's a small book, I can read it in 4 or 5 hours, because I had one small book also on the agenda to read. But I said I should have something long book, big book, not long book, big book. So 2 years back, one of my friends has gifted me this wonderful book on Jagannath, Sri Jagannath Puri by Sarvasakshi Prabhu. Initially, it came in Hindi, Then they got it translated English. So she gave me that book and I never opened it, but I thought this is the book that I should read in the 16-hour flight. And somehow I squeezed into my handbag. And I just read it. So why I'm telling this is very personal. I read it, I didn't fully read it. I read it about 100 to 120 pages, I think. And then I come here within few hours of I landing here, Mahasundari Mataji says that I have to give today's class. And whatever I read there in those 150 to 180 pages, I'm going to tell you in brief. So it's very personal. Somehow his interactions with people is very, very personal. How that in the last minute that I'd get the idea to pick up only this book. There are many books that are there. And how I read it, how I could read it again, it's mercy. How I could enjoy it, it's His mercy. And how the opportunity came is His mercy, and how before you I'm there. So first of all, I pay my very great humble obeisances to Sarvasakshi Prabhu for compiling this wonderful book. It has got a very glorifying forward also from various Maharajas. Super compilation. And anyone who wants to know more about Jagannatha and Baldev Subhadra and the processes and philosophy, this is a one fantastic book. The uniqueness of this book is Prabhu has presented the details of Jagannath Puri, as I told that from Skandapuram, with direct shlokas. Sanskrit shlokas are quoted and he has connected them. So authenticity is very, very strong. So I'm going to talk this pastime of how Jagannath got this form, right? So there are two pastimes. I'll try to finish both of them. I'll try to briefly tell. I'm going to not tell the verbatim of what I've read here. So in the first pastime, you must have heard this pastime, but I'm reasonably confident at least there could be something probably that you wouldn't have heard it before. At least for me, it's like that. So if you heard whatever I'm fully saying, and then you are on top of it. But there could be something that is new in this thing. Okay, so the first pastime, this is a pastime which is most often talked about, most often written about in ISKCON. So the main participants are queens of Krishna, including Rukmini, Rohini Mata, Subhadra, Krishna Balaram, Narada. This is a spelling mistake, sorry about it. Okay. So it so happens that one day, Rukmini confronts Krishna and she has got a problem that's been there in her mind. She's trying to get some solution out of it. That why Krishna in Dwaraka, even after enjoying so many opulences, being served, revered with awe and respect, he has got all the comforts available. Queens are there, everybody is respecting him, he's also enjoying, administering, but somehow or other, in seclusion sometimes, in the private quarters, he's always very absent-minded and thinking of something that these people are not able to understand. Queens are concerned because they are trying to serve Krishna, but they feel that somewhere something was missing because the reciprocation for that service, the level of service that they are doing was not there because their master was lost in something. And they know to some level, degree, that this master is thinking about Brajadham. That's where he came from. But they didn't have that much information on why he's so much connected to that. So one day Rukmini says, no, it's time for me. Today I have to confront my husband. So she goes and asks him. Then Krishna says, so naturally sometimes when somebody is asking us something and which we don't want to obey or do, what will we say? One simple thing, right? Two simple things. One is I don't have time or I'm busy. Okay? So Krishna also adopted the same technique. I'm busy, I have to go to assembly, please don't bother me. But Rukmini says, no, enough is enough today, please, you have to tell me. Then when she does it, so Krishna still wants to evade answering, and she said, you can ask Rohini Mata, so she will tell. So Rukmini and her consorts go to Rohini Mata and say that this is our problem. Kindly help us. So Rukmini Mata says, well, it's a very interesting question that you have asked. Krishna's absent-mindedness or Krishna's attention towards Rajabhumi is very, very obvious. So I will tell first what is there in Rajabhumi, and then I will narrate some details so that you will be able to understand why his mood is like that. Rohini says she starts telling about Vrajavasis. There are very important lessons in what she says to us also. She says, Vrajavasis devotion, you please make a note of this, mentally. It is natural, spontaneous, selfless, uninterrupted, free from personal benefit. Okay? So if we have to get into naturally and spontaneously worship Lord Krishna, where should we start? When we do this service, it should be free from personal benefit, it should be selfless, it should be uninterrupted. So Srimad Bhagavatam shloka is also there, right? Savai pumsam paro dharmo yeto bhakti radokshaje ahaituki apratihata yatma suprasiddhati. Ahaituki, without any reason. Apratihata, uninterrupted or continuous. So natural, spontaneous, it's very difficult written, but at least we can try the other three. Selfless service, uninterrupted service, free from personal benefit. Selfless and without doing something from personal benefit, we have a direct instructions from Bhagavad Gita, 2:47, karmaniya vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Ma karma phala heturur mate sangos akarmani. And Bhagavad Gita 3:30 also, Bhagavan says that, Krishna says to Arjuna. So free from personal benefit, desire from selfless, uninterrupted. If you start doing it, automatically spontaneity and naturality will come. And then that's where we see this thing. And then she goes on. She says, here you are all serving, it is fine. But I'll take you to the realm of Vraja. She says, there, everybody, everything, anything, everything thinks about Krishna. And she explains, cows wait for Krishna, birds sing for Krishna, trees, grass exist only for the pleasure of Krishna. The Gopas play with him as an equal friend. Mother Yashoda feeds him, protects him, scolds him, and even binds him. So everybody is doing everything. And even though sometimes the service is unpleasant, unfavorable, uncomfortable, if it makes Krishna happy, they will do that. And there are many instances for us, right? Once the very famous pastime that people quote is that when Krishna got a headache and he wanted to put the dust of the lotus feet, everybody is afraid, but Gopi said, no problem, we'll put it, because his headache has to reduce. So she basically says that everything is there for Krishna. And she also tries to starts comparing between Vraja mood and Dwaraka mood. Both are good. If you see in the context of Jagannath, it's very interesting. Jagannath has got two predominant things and three, but two I'll tell here. Is that one, in Dwaraka, if you see Krishna is worshipped as in awe and reverence, that's also fantastic way of worshipping. That's also devotion. In Vrajadam, the mood of devotion is entirely different. It is more of Madhurya Bhava. So Aishwarya, Madhurya is a very nice mixture is there. Along with Madhurya, Dasya, Sakhya and other things are also there. So she keeps on narrating that thing. And then she says, she knows that if any topic of Vraja is being discussed anywhere near around, where Krishna can even sense it, that something is happening, because Krishna knows that Rukmini would go to Rohini, knows that Rohini will tell something, and so Krishna's mind was back-end operating, and Rohini also knows that if Krishna comes to know that Vrajadham and Vrajabhumi things are there, he would come. So she says, let's go to a secluded place. So all of them go from Rohini's quarters to Rukmini's quarters, which is more well protected because there are more protocols to enter. And then she gives a very nice narration. So there she tries to compare the mood of Dwaraka to Vrindavan. So there are 18 points that Rohini gives to them as a wonderful class. My dear queens, this is what you do in Dwaraka, but in Vrindavan they do this. But 18 points. But I'm not going to cover all 18. A few very significant ones. So she says Krishna is worshipped as a king and Supreme Lord here. That's fine. Nothing is right or wrong. Everything is good. But we have to understand the mood and mellow. And Krishna in Vrindavan is loved as child, friend and beloved. It is Aishwarya Rasa here, that is majesty and reverence. There it's Madhurya, sweetness and intimacy. And one very important thing that she says, in Dwaraka, you all feel that I belong to Krishna. I will serve Krishna. I will do this to Krishna. In Dwaraka, the mood is I belong to Krishna. But Rohini Mata says that in Vrajadham, it is Krishna is mine. It's very, very different, right? I want to do something, but you feel that I am yours. And service is done with awe and respect, and service is natural affection. So this is one wonderful thing. I belong to Krishna, Krishna is mine. Actually, if you club it together without any pride, then it's a very fulfillment of our understanding of bhakti. And Krishna is obeyed as a master. Krishna is conquered by love. So in Damodar Leela also we have a wonderful shloka, right? I'll give you a hint. Can somebody chant? Iti driksva leela bher ananda kunde. Iti driksva leela bher ananda kunde swaghosham jantam akhyapayantam tadiye shitagneshu bhakte jitatvam puna prematastam satavrittivan. So in a simple line, in one of the classes of Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, I understood, when sweetness supersedes greatness, lover conquers the beloved. When sweetness supersedes the greatness, lover conquers the beloved. So even in our Gaudiya Parampara in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching, what are we taught? Fear of God, love of God, right? When sweetness supersedes greatness, lover conquers the beloved. So in Vrindavan it happens time and again. Awareness of his greatness is very high in Dwaraka. Intimacy covers the awareness of his greatness. So like this 18 points are covered. And then Rohini Mata also, discovers that as she's talking about Vrajadham, she's also getting ecstatic feelings. She for sure knows that Krishna will definitely come there. And that's a place where she says that we need some protection here. Otherwise, Krishna will come, Balaram will come, and they will interrupt us. So then volunteer. And Subhadra is very interesting in these pastimes. She's asked, their Queen Rukmini asked Subhadra, can you please go outside the door and be a gatekeeper? And they also say that we will give you a lot of gifts. So Subhadra agrees, and Subhadra is the gatekeeper now. And normally the pastime ends here. If the pastime were to end here, and as Rohini further goes on to talk about Vrindavan, Krishna comes, then followed by Balarama comes, And as Rohini Mata is also in the ecstatic feeling of narrating the greatness of Vrajadam in various different ways, they completely get absorbed, and that because of that absorption, their body shrinks. Like whenever you have anything surprise, right? Its body shrinks. We can see when people do a surprise party and suddenly they get it. Children, I've seen this with my granddaughter. When she suddenly gets to see or hear something very liking to her, she says, "Ee," like this. Our body symptoms change for a time, but so same way, Krishna, Balarama, and along with that, their things shift. So normally, when the pastime is described, this is where it is described, and then Narada comes. But actually, there's a gap. So their bodies became like this, but there was still a time till Narada had to come. So that's where this book details. That's a very interesting thing. So she further goes on. She has to further establish what is that love for Krishna is. So it's very interesting. Then she goes on to tell one other pastime. So what happens is when Krishna was ruling the kingdom, Narada comes there and he suddenly remembers that when Krishna appeared, where did Krishna appear? He appeared in a jail, right? A prison. At that time, his father, Vasudeva, was jailed, and he normally when these kind of very auspicious things happen, people donate. In those days, they used to donate cows and to the people, and he could do it. So he mentally said that I will donate 100,000 cows, right? But later on, things have moved on, and apparently he didn't fulfill his desire. So Narada reminds to Vasudeva, sir, you have made that promise to yourself and you should do it. Then all the elders meet up and they say that, okay, time has moved on. So the best way to do that is to perform yajna, a fire sacrifice, remembering that event, and also followed by the donations. And because it is done for Krishna, Krishna has to perform the yajna. So all the arrangements of yajna are done. And so when yajna is there, people will be called, right? So there are two, obviously, people, Devaki, and one other personality which we normally don't hear is Kamsa's mother, that is Ugrasena's wife. Her name is Padmavati. In sometimes, she is also referred as Padma. So both of them have a desire that this has to be a mega event. So they said, a lot of people have to be invited. So they tell Narada that you have to go there and get a lot of people. But Padmavati, interestingly, makes one condition. That he said, you can invite everybody and anybody, but don't invite anyone from Vrindavan. We'll come to know why she says that. Because she loves Krishna so much that she doesn't want people from Vrindavan in that event, which is very formal, done in a big scale event. So Narada is going there and inviting everybody. People start coming, but on the way he feels a bit thirsty by the arrangement of Yogamaya. He invariably lands in Vrindavan, and then he has a conversation with Mother Yashoda, and in that conversation he tells that something is there. And then Narada asks that I was told not to invite you. So obviously Yashoda she feels very happy to hear about Krishna. She gets into ecstatic mood, but suddenly she also gets disappointed that the invitation is not for them to go to this yajna. So while she was a bit in a very sad state, her husband Nanda Maharaj comes and says, why you are so upset? Is there a need for us to have an invitation to go to our own son's house? Not needed, right? It's our son, we can go any time. So there's nothing wrong. So we'll all go. So Yashoda thinks that logic is right. So they all go. And when the cowherd community goes, they don't go like normal, right? They take a lot of milk, cow products, and a lot of gifts in their own way. And they all start and reach Dwaraka. And Narada goes first. And Padmavati asks, did you invite everybody whom we know? Narada says, yes, everybody is coming. They're already coming. Yajna is about to start. And Narada also tells that I also had to go to Vrindavan for some reason. I told Yashoda Maya and they are also coming. So we need to accommodate them. So she gets very upset with Narada. She says, why did you do this? And Narada is also upset. And why she's saying this? Why she has got animosity? But actually she doesn't have animosity. It's her extreme liking for Lord Krishna. She says these cowherd people sent Krishna in the hot sun without shoes to graze cows. And they played with him, they jumped on his shoulder. And Mother Yashoda is too much. She even punished him. She bound him. How can they do this to Lord Krishna? So that's why I don't like them. So they are not allowed in this. So Devaki Mata is in a very difficult situation. But being on the royal side of the side, she says, okay, we'll manage somehow. But that they eventually, first she also feels okay, so they say that we'll put some blockade so that they won't come. And then when they actually come, and they are also, these cowherd people, they don't come silently, right? They come in many people, they're chanting Krishna, Krishna, Kana, Kana. They're singing about Krishna's thing, they're glorifying Krishna, how is Krishna and Vrindavan, how they liked, and a lot of noise was there. And Padmavati still gets irritated a bit, irritated out of love for Krishna, not for any reason. And she herself stands in the guard along with other people. And she encounters Yashoda Mai. And she was a bit tough with her and rough with her that you cannot go. And Yashoda Mai also gets a bit upset because she's not because Padmavati is asking her not to come, but she's not given an opportunity to meet Krishna. So then how do we resolve this issue? So they discuss together and they say that at least if Krishna comes there and shows his audience, these people will be pacified. Then Yajna can go. So they ask Narada, so we'll call Krishna. Then Narada puts a technical point there. She says, Yajna has already started. I am hearing the word Swaha, 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 offerings have already started. And Krishna is doing the Yajna. So how can he come? I cannot call. They asked Narada to call. I said, I cannot call. Technically, it's not feasible. Protocol-wise, it's not feasible. Then they asked Narada a solution. You tell the solution. Then he says, if mother calls, then he can come. That rule is there. So they asked Devaki to call Krishna, Krishna. So Devaki, out of love, because Devaki also wants to resolve this, confronting situation. She calls Krishna. Krishna doesn't come. He's doing Yajna. She calls, doesn't come. Then Narada says to Padmavati, let's see what happens if Yashoda Mai calls. So she calls, Kana, Kana, Kana. And Krishna stops Yajna and comes there. And that's how she concludes. So this, please remember, queens of Dwaraka, this is what is Krishna to Vrajavasis. This is the love, mellow, sweetness, ecstasy that is present in Vrajabhumi. That's why your Lord is always thinking about him, despite you doing a fantastic service to him in iron reverence. As she is concluding the greatness and as Rukmini and all her consorts are absorbing the greatness of Vraja Dham as narrated by Rohini in her own ecstasy, that's when Narada comes. And Narada comes, and the moment he sees the scene of this very, very, very blissful form of lordships, Krishna, Balram and Subhadra, Then he starts shouting that, I see, I've seen them, I've seen them, I've seen them. And then he suddenly pays obeisances and starts prayers. And then they come to normal self. And then Krishna says, Narada, that I will give you something that you want now. So Narada says, I have seen this wonderful form of yours in fully blissful, excited mode. I want others also to see. Then Krishna reveals that somewhere down the line, I will be present and reside in Neelachal, called Jagannath Puri, in this form to give my darshan to understand Nelo's Ram as much as the stands of Dwaraka. On river, sweet, or like a concept flotation. So Narada is happy, and that's how the form of Jagannath is there, and there's another story. But there's also one other pastime. How much time I have? How much time I have? 10 minutes, 5 minutes? Okay. So this second pastime is primarily coming from Gaudiya Parampara. It is stated to be a confidential pastime. So I can only tell to whatever little I understood. It's not normally documented. It is coming from His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, a very, very renowned devotee, a leader and a scholar of very high prominence in ISKCON. He has done a lot of work and service to Srila Prabhupada. Many parts of the world, especially in Orissa, he has translated Srila Prabhupada books into Oriya. And in one of his articles, Embarkment of Separation, that's one of the articles that he has written, he has revealed this pastime, which is actually was revealed by our Goswamis. So it's very esoteric and very confidential matter. So, but I'll try to present to you, So one day in Dwaraka, Krishna is, again, somehow gets into the mood of thinking about Vraja Bhumi, Vrajadham, and his activities there, and sometimes he gets, on that day he gets too much of it, and he falls unconscious. And at that time, near Krishna, Uddhava was there, who's a cousin of Krishna, was always there. Krishna used to consider him, Uddhava, as his guide, and Balrama was there. So they were also stunned on why Krishna did this and how do we get him out of his consciousness. So Narada also comes there and they are discussing how do we get Krishna back into normal consciousness and how to make him stable, because they also know, because they deal with Krishna on a day-to-day basis, when Krishna does something like this, suddenly falling completely unconscious, thinking about Vraja, there has to be some pastime that is going to come, but they are not aware what's happening. So they go to a solutioning mode and they decide, Balram and Uddhava decide that Narada, if you start singing and with your veena playing, Krishna will come up to the consciousness, and then we can manage him. We have this very famous shloka in Padma Puran, right? What is that? Na hrudayeshu yogiva. Yet naham tishtami vaikunte na hrudayeshu yogiva etra gayanti madbhakta tatra tishtami Narada. So, but Narada says this solution is good, but there's a problem there. If I start singing and playing my veena, Krishna gets up, but he'll get up in such a mood that he will run to Vrindavan. So we need to manage that issue. So then they decide and they call the Krishna's charioteer. Daruka is called, Krishna's chariot is made ready, but still they are not very sure whether this solution will work. And they see that is there any better solution? Because if Krishna like this runs away, there's a problem, right? People will come to know him. And in what state he will run also, they will not know. And then they turn to Uddhava, because Uddhava is Krishna's very dear friend. And they say, Uddhava, you please go to Vrindavan and tell that Krishna's situation is like this, and we will definitely bring him there. So they also will be pacified, because they have become completely lifeless without Krishna. they're longing to meet Krishna. Uddhava said, this is good solution, but not feasible. Because he says, I did this once on the behest of Krishna. I went to Vrindavan and told him that he's coming, and I completely failed in my service there. I neither could serve them properly, I got scolded, I got chastised, nor Krishna also did not listen to me, he didn't come. So I can't take this failure. Next time it doesn't work. Then, of course, they turn to Lord Balrama. Balrama says, I also have the same problem. Once I went, I told to Yashoda, I told to my younger brother several times, after you came to Dwaraka, Vrindavan has become lifeless. Everybody is thinking about you, like they're crying, they're weeping. You have to go. And Krishna is every time telling, I will go, but he never went. So if I go and tell Yashoda, my Nanda Baba, and all the cowherd women that Krishna is going to come, they know that. They can't believe me because they lost the trust. There's a trust deficiency on my own word. So I cannot go. So then very important thing happens in this pastime. This is a very practical lesson for us. Subhadra Mai is listening to this conversation. And she comes, she's younger, young, and she says, I will take up this service. It's a wonderful lesson that we can learn here. Sometimes in the congregations, we don't have to wait till somebody gives us a service. If we feel that something is there that I can do to the extent possible, if I'm capable of doing, I must volunteer to come and ask for that service. Whether the service is given or not is a different issue. And we should be made known to take up the service. Because in some congregations, when people get into service, they get so much deep, they don't think about others. They keep doing their own. DT department does DT department, book distribution. They don't want to, it's not that they don't want to give chance, but they're so absorbed, they don't think about others. So it's our duty always to look forward for some service or other, even without somebody asking. If somebody asks, it's good. Even if somebody doesn't ask, if something I can do it, I can take up that service. Subhadra Mai teaches that. In a very complicated situation like this, I will go. So they ready her chariot. But then Balram suddenly thinks, oh my God, if she is going alone and I'm staying here, and then Krishna starts going, it doesn't look nice that I'm left alone. Younger brother I'm leaving, sister I'm leaving, and I'm sending her alone. No, I will go. Then they said, I will also go with Subhadra. And it's a very interesting thing. So the Balram's chariot is arranged, then Subhadra's chariot, and they go. And even today, when Krishna from Jagannath temple, which is known as Dwaraka, he goes to Gundicha Mandir, which is known as Vrindavan. Baldev comes first, then Subhadra, Baldev, Subhadra, and then only Jagannath will come. So they go and they tell that Krishna is coming and everybody is happy. This is again a very confidential pastime, it's not revealed. That's why it's called confidential pastime, because it is all done under the spell of Yogamaya. So unless the acharyas who know how to go to those realms and reveal, we will not know. So eventually Krishna also goes, and then he is taken to Radharani and he sees her condition, almost completely lifeless. And of course, other people are very happy. And then he meets her, and then what Krishna does? She says, I will fall at your feet for creating this situation for you. And they both interact, but when he sees how much Radharani is longing for him, lot of the symptoms of ecstasy manifest, and his whole body shrinks. Whole body shrinks. And then people who have seen this for the first time in Braja also, they are also stunned. to see how Krishna has become. And later, after a certain time, Krishna becomes normal, and then he promises to all of them that this form of ecstasy of him very, 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 very lovingly seeing Radharani should be made available to the world also. And then he says that I have decided that this form of mine also will be visible in Jagannath Puri later down the line. And then he thinks that I cannot do it alone because Balram and Subhadra also are part of this game of going to, they also have those ecstatic symptoms. So I'll be manifesting myself in these forms of we seeing this so that people can do it. So the pastime doesn't end here. Pastime gets a Gaudiya connection here. So that's where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. And Krishna says, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in the color of Radharani, Gaura Sundar, I will be seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remembering Radharani. And Radharani, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, will be seeing me as Krishna. So Krishna, Jagannath, when we see Jagannath with his big eyes, it's not only he's in ecstatic mood, he is in the mood of looking at the love of Radharani. And when we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looking at Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, he's looking at Krishna, how he's missing. So both of them are missing with each other and they made a connect. And that's why in Puri Jagannath we have Dwaraka, we have Vrindavan, and our Gaudiya Acharyas have revealed that we also have Navadvip, that is Gambhira. And that is the reason, one of the reasons why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Jagannath Puri for 80 years, to enjoy this and to help people understand the very nature and a philosophy underlying this Jagannath deities. So Jagannath deities are just not Jagannath deities in the ecstasy, but they want to see the ecstasy and love. And same way we can extend that logic that when Jagannath comes out to see us, he also wants to see us how much of ecstatic feelings, how much of love and devotion that we have towards him. If that connection happens, that when we see him, he is also satisfied. So it's not only that we see him normally, he says, oh my God. But if you see him in that ecstatic mood, that connection is fulfilled, right? That's the reason why in Jagannath, we have Rath Yatra, the festival is full of energy, chanting, dancing, and people getting into different moods, right? So this is the very confidential pastime that Gaur Swami has, has revealed to us. So I just covered in brief these two pastimes on the importance of the form and how we need to connect with the Lord Jagannath. It is not to do a comparative study on Dwaraka and Rajavasi mood, but to understand more about each of them so that we can get a better information on how to worship Lord Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And again, Jagannath pastime, I'll just take 2 minutes to tell my realization, I must admit, because whenever we do some mistake, it's always good to reveal it, your heart, right? So that the impurity that is caused because of that mistake is lowered. So I committed an aparadha yesterday. So in Lord Jagannath Rath Yatra particularly, and Jagannath Rath service are very personal. No matter what personal things is there, no matter how much personal we think about Jagannath, it's very interesting that only when he wants it, it will happen. There are so many pastimes, right, with our acharyas, with our things in this. So one of my friends, his name is Machendra Das, He visited Jagannatha Rath Yatra more than 20 times. So yes, he told me several of those, fantastic pastimes. Sometimes Jagannatha Rath Yatra day is full of rain. Everybody will think it will not happen in one day. Half a day it is done. Full of sun. Everybody will say, oh, people will die, people will fall faint. Everything goes smooth. Someday everything is fine. Everybody will think, oh, 3-4 hours Rath Yatra is finished, but it takes 3 days. He decides. But sometimes we forget. We think that we are in the control, but we think that we are worshipping Lord Jagannath, who is the Lord of the universe. So yesterday, honestly, so I was there doing some service at that near car. So I saw some people falling, and I also slipped because there was very watery thing, right? So since I fell, I know the risk of it. So I was standing with Srikant Prabhu. We are trying to divert people to, to walk on the dry path. So that was the service we took, and which we are doing. But I was very getting concerned because I'm standing since 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Jagannath doesn't manifest. Dances are happening. People are eating prasad. 15-20% of the people going. So my anxiety is that program should happen. My anxiety became a bit angry, and my false ego also came up. Like Devaki Mataji, one of the great authors of books, she has got a very, very good book. It's called False Ego, My Constant Companion. So she was with us during March in our house, so we had a nice association. That's why I know her books. So I went to a couple of people, Rajanandani Mataji and Vaikunteshwar Balaji Mataji. So I said that why this is getting delayed, this is too much, people are going, that. So I was feeling that anxiety, and I did mention that in our Damodar Desh, Dubai, we'll not do this. DT team will come first 2 hours before. They do everything, decoration, they do boga, they do arti. They keep the DTs, and then only dances and all will happen. Dances cannot happen on an empty altar. So my ego was going. So in the end, and the whole program was over. And I was just waiting for Mahasundari to finish her thing so that I can accompany her. I was sitting alone. I was introspecting, what did I learn today? I said, I failed. I failed to note one single point about Jagannatha that I hear so many times, that only when he wants, he will move. When he wants, he will manifest. No matter what you do. Even if the DT team would have come in time, dressed him, offered him, but if it had to happen, something would have happened. He wanted to start at 7:45 p.m. only. If I had got that feeling that if I had waited for Jagannath to manifest at the time that he wants, I would have got a better realization, better understanding, better enjoyment of that festival, rather than I getting angry and irritated that somebody is not doing their service, that's why he's not coming. So that's a gob. So I made a mistake. Vancha kalpatarabhyasya kripa sandhubhyevacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. So this is my realization. So I did a mistake. I'm falling at your feet for that Vaishnava aparad. But at the same time, because I'm 66 years old, so I have a fatherly role to play. So kindly take care of this. Jagannath likes to be punctual also. He doesn't have to be punctual. But we have to be punctual. So during Mangala Aarti also, pujaris go at 4:30, 5 o'clock. But sometimes Aarti happens at 5, sometimes 6 o'clock. But pujaris have to be punctual. So we have to do our duty and leave it to him. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And I also, Rajanandani Mataji gave me a very good shiksha. He said, if there is any shortcomings in this program, you have to talk to the president of the temple. I didn't know who was the president of the temple. So I was thinking that she is referring to her husband. So I was trying to start looking at Gopal Chandra Prabhu. He is not there. And then only when Kirti came and was smiling when this conversation was going, then I realized something. I was in a trap. So anyway, I have forgiven her because she's my daughter. But Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you once again for coming here to participate and understand and learn about something about Jagannath. And again, once again, we must thank for these wonderful, great devotees in ISKCON who are still compiling a fantastic thing, Hare Krishna. And one thing also I remembered, it was also good when you do this, last thing I tell. So when I was reading and preparing for the class, so as Yashoda Mai is describing about Vrajadham, people at Vraja, so I was thinking that you people in the congregation are very fortunate because you're a mixture of very good devotees, right? But there's one devotee who is very much fixed into this description of what Yashoda Maya was telling about Vrajadham, that is Gopa Bhav Prabhu. You have a devotee by name Gopa Bhav Prabhu. His name is so profound to what Mother Yashoda was telling to Rukmini and her consorts about how Rajavasis are there, right? So, should be very Hare Krishna Prabhu to you and your spiritual master. So, you are a Gopa Bhav here. So, everybody let's be in the mood of Gopa Bhav while we worship Krishna in our endeavors. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Hare Krishna.
So today's class was given by His Grace Jagajiva Jagannatha Prabhu, who's my father. He's been practicing Krishna consciousness now for over 30 years. And they live, my parents mentioned, they live in the Middle East. And he recently retired. So now he is a fully committed, 100% full-time devotee in the service of the Lord. And on a lighter note, now for those of you who know why I run over in classes, where I get that trait from. So our next part of the program is Aarti. We request everyone to please rise. You can put the mats in the back and you can come closer. Today we have Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra manifested in two forms. So come closer and take double the mercy from Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Radhe. Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Radhe. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladev, Subhadra. Jaya Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladev, Subhadra. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadaine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatankanakalaya. Tankanakalaya. Ito Narsimha परतो नृसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नृसिंहा प्रवाहे नृसिंहा हृदये नृसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये पते नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरे नखा अद्भुतशृङ्गा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवदिता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवदिता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव
जय नित्यलील प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रविजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सदस्यमते His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada की जय ISKCON संस्थापकाचार्य A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र सदस्यमत भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय रामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की, मायापुर धाम की, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, नवद्वीप धाम की, गंगा मई की, यमुना मई की, तुलसी देवी की, भक्ति देवी की, संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, बृहद मृदंग की, समवेत भक्त वृंद की, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees.